In this earlier video, we addressed two categories of sex-related hadiths, those directed to wives and those directed to husbands. Do check it out.
We advocate that husbands and wives focus on the hadith that are directed to them instead of fussing over those that are directed to their spouses.
Now, in this video, we want to focus on the third category, which is the couple-directed hadiths. And these were addressed to couples together as partners in love, as lovers, not individually. The most well-known of such hadiths is the messenger hadith.
Let none of you fall suddenly upon your wife like an animal. Let there be a messenger between the two. Someone asked, what is a messenger, O Prophet? He said, kissing and words.
Yeah, but there's another interesting hadith where the Prophet described what marital intimacy should be like. And the relevant part is, so that you might play with her and she with you, and you might amuse her and she amuses you. We refer to this as the Jabir hadith.
So when he addressed couples together as partners in love, it was no longer about duties or conjugal right or making babies or setting up a family, or none of the serious stuff. Rather,
when they are together, couples should indulge in playing with and amusing each other. In other words, they should have fun and enjoy each other. Oh my God, are Muslims supposed to enjoy sex? So these are the questions that my client asked me. Can we enjoy sex? Are we supposed to do that? This is a basic question that we need to address as it will influence how we perceive and conduct our sexual relationship.
but of course, the serious stuff about sex, like conjugal rights, children, family, society, etc., is important in Islam. But the Prophet was not belittling these aspects of marriage. Rather, this hadith is about when to be serious and when to have fun.
So if you approach sex with seriousness, then sex becomes a chore. And it can become so meaningless that couples get disillusioned and lose interest in their sex life. And it can even contribute to conflict affecting the marital relationship at large.
So the Jabir hadith is like a masterstroke kind of advice, which if you follow, your sexual intimacy will naturally snowball into a marital harmony in general.
Of course, you must understand that couples need more than sexual satisfaction to run the family. But their harmony,
With it, even if you are weak in certain areas of family management, but because of the good vibes that you have between the two,
you'll be less critical of each other or finding fault, but instead will be willing to improve and support each other.
however, to have fun in sex is not necessarily easy to do.
Yes, otherwise I would not have seen so many couples getting bored with their sex life in counseling. Some after a long marriage, some even from the beginning part of their marriage.
That's why the Prophet didn't leave it to chance. Instead, he advocated a strategy to create that atmosphere of fun and enjoyment in lovemaking. So if the Jabir hadith tells us to have fun, the Messenger hadith tells us how to.
As explained in this video, conceptually he advocated sensual and emotional pleasuring as the mainstay of lovemaking.
This is what you will read from leading sex therapists like Domina Renshaw or Ian Kerner today.
Yeah, and this is an ingenious and insightful advice from the Prophet, who equally understood the sexual process. And bear in mind that this is from the year 622 CE.
Left on its own, the sexual response cycle has its own pace of build-up from excitement to orgasm. Unfortunately, this pace differs between the sexes. Men are a lot faster and easier to excite and climax compared to women.
So too often, men leave their wives behind as they climax, way before she has even a chance to be excited. And worse still, there are wives who are always just about getting excited and then always left behind in an excited but unfulfilled state of arousal. And that is more frustrating.
And the husband?
By then, he would drop dead after his orgasm with a smile on his face.
Yes, but that is the better known effect of this mismatch between the sexes. And as long as it is unsatisfactory to one party, this issue is known as premature ejaculation. But a lesser known effect is that men could also be dissatisfied with this situation.
Yes. So we always assume that because the husband has orgasm, he is fulfilled. Not necessarily so. Yeah. In my counseling, I met a husband who told the wife, using the Singapore lingo, I get, but I don't get. You know. And the wife would look astounded. What? So what the husband meant is that, yes, I do have orgasm, but you are not really there with me doing our sexual intercourse. You're not mentally there. And they feel something is lacking even though they climax.
But this is a legit situation,
Yes.
actually. And it happens often, not only in Singapore, all over the world, based on what we read from sex therapists. And they would describe the situation as the man having sexual gratification, but not sexual satisfaction. The two are different. The sexual gratification is rather biological in nature. Sexual satisfaction is more all-rounded, which involves the mind, body, and soul, and things like that.
Yeah. So it's the connection with your spouse as we come together that is often missing in the relationship. So back to the messenger hadith. If our focus in lovemaking is kissing and words, sensual and emotional pleasuring instead of just penetration, then the sensual pleasures like touch and being touched, or seeing a beautiful body, or listening to sweet nothing are a lot more within our control.
And so are the emotional pleasures,
Yes.
like affection or appreciation or closeness, even happiness, etc., etc.
Yes. And because of that, we are more likely able to sustain and prolong this pleasure as they are within our human control.
Yet, these non-penetration pleasures do not necessarily curtail or diminish the sexual build-up. It even enhances it.
In fact, for women, these psycho-emotional factors are actually quite crucial before the mind, the body, and the relevant organs would be aroused sexually.
So, the Prophet's approach is not direct, straight to intercourse,
Yes.
but rather is more of a roundabout way. However, this roundabout approach will invite the entire body and all the senses it has to tag along in the ride.
And not forgetting the heart with all its emotion, the mind with all its thoughts, fantasies, and imagination.
In fact, the entire person,
Yes.
with the consciousness of his soul, would participate. Yet it does not preclude genital stimulation and its erotic pleasures and that much overrated orgasm.
This, according to the Prophet ﷺ, is what differentiates animal mating from human lovemaking. And it starts with sensual and emotional pleasuring, or in his words, kissing and words.
So in the next few videos, we will focus on a number of issues that we observe in counseling as stumbling blocks or distractions or discouragements experienced by couples who have difficulty in being sensual and emotional with each other.
We will organize it around the sense of touch, sight, smell, taste, and hearing, starting with the sense of touch in the next video. Inshallah.